So, the start of today's video is a little bit different than usual. I'm hopping into a Lexus. What's up guys, Jake Sanders here from the Beefy YouTube channel. I have a little bit of explaining to do. So I am currently in Luke's LX470, sorry, not 570. Because my CRV is currently broken. Luke and I went up to West Jefferson to go do some camping, and afterwards we went to go do some trail riding. We weren't gonna do anything crazy, so I didn't even bring the camera. But we ended up getting bored of fire roads, and we ended up going to Brown Mountain off-road. I jumped my car about two times consistently back to back, and on the third jump it just stopped. So I bent my rear trailing arm. I cracked it in half actually. I'll insert a picture of it now. So I'm on the way to take Luke's car to go to LKQ to pick up 2 new trailing arms for me to plate the back end of them, and then those are gonna go back on Beefy, and I wanna go back and I wanna try that trail again. So we're gonna get into it. I'm gonna go to pull apart, pull these off, and I'll update you guys once we get there. Found a CRV that's all-wheel drive, and it's got no wheel locks on there. It's gonna make it too difficult. It's got a dry working area for me to get. So I guess these are the trailing arms I'm gonna be pulling off right now. I'll take these back to the shop and then weld them up. Hopefully they do well. I got pretty lucky. I couldn't get this axle to come out of the hub. I just tightened it down with the impact a couple of times and it finally broke free. So now that I'm done hammering, I'm gonna get back to taking out the rest of the trailing arm. All the other bolts broke free fine. I just had one of those things. All I got left on it still is the parking brake cable, so I'm going inside here to take that off, and then that side should come off. Alright, so I got both of the trailing arms off. Now I'm gonna load them up and just go walk through the rest of the pull apart, see if I can find anything. Hopefully I can get some metal for these Monday afternoon and get these plated up so I can get them back on my car and go jump it again. And get it on video this time. Alright, so I'm moving pull apart. I got 2 spindles, had to pull the knuckles off of them and everything because they wanted another $50 for the knuckles that I was going to throw away anyway. So I spent the extra time, pulled the hubs off, and now they're going to go to the shop, get sandblasted up, and I'm going to plate off from here to about here, and then from here to about here. And hopefully that'll make it strong enough. I don't really think I need to do up here. I might do it just because I'm already doing all of it. And there's no reason for me not to, just to be sure it's extra strong, but I think that should do it. Hopefully I won't have this issue again before I go solid axle, but that's still like 6-8 months away. Hopefully sooner, but I got a lot of stuff I gotta get done. So I'll catch up to you guys when we're at the shop and we're sandblasting those up, getting prepped for welding. I'm gonna work on getting this trailing arm off. That's supposed to be a gap right there. So we'll get to it. So I got the trailing arm bushing removed. Got a nice clean surface for the introduced suspension bushing to go in there. Now I just need to swap everything over. Here's the close-up on the carnage. Snapped right there. So this whole one will be getting plated from about there up, so I don't have that happen again. This section right here has to be trimmed out when you lift past 3 inches. So I'm gonna have to cut that out again. But this time I'm gonna do it. Oh my God, look at the spider. Oh! So, torch, meet my friend Spider. Don't know exactly where he went. Oh, he's on the ground. And we no longer have to worry about that spider. So, like I was saying, I'm gonna take a plate up the back side of this around where the axle goes in, so of course the axle can still work. And I also have to be wary of this fella. I need to have my parking brake cable still, so I'm probably only gonna be able to plate from here. I'm probably gonna bring it back at an angle, and then I'll probably stop right about here. Because I don't think I'll have any issue with this section up here. I say that now. Let's hope I don't have an issue with up here until I solid axle swap this thing. But if I do, we'll address that when we come to it. Or we'll just solid axle swap it when we come to that point. If we break this again, we're just going straight solid axle. So I'm gonna get working on getting everything swapped over from this one to that one. And I'll catch back up with you guys in a minute. So I was able to get the hub off without any major issues. Now I just need to get the bushing out of there so I can put it in the other one. Got the camber arm out. You can see where the tire was rubbing on it, ground all the powder coat off of it. That needs to be cleaned up just because I'm already in here. I might as well clean it. Huh, it's got a little rust line on it. And I might grab new bolts for that so I don't have to worry about them getting seized in there. But I think we're doing pretty good. I'm only like an hour and 30 minutes in. I really do need a new boot for the CV axle because it's torn somewhere, I think. It's slinging grease, I know that. Maybe it's not torn. Maybe it's just slinging grease because it wants to. Alright, cool. I don't see any tear. But there is definitely grease on my shock. So, it's coming from somewhere. Just like that, the introduced suspension bushing is out of the trailing arm, and that one's ready for the jump. Alright, so I got my cardboard template pretty much made up. There's still room for the parking brake cable to go through, and there's still room for the axle to have travel and flex and whatnot. I might put a little bit more material right here with the metal. Haven't really decided. I think that'll be the best option. I don't want to get too close to the axle, but I want this to be as strong as possible. So yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and trace that out on the metal, cut it out, and then get to welding that on. Alright, so now the plate's all cut out. It's about the general shape that I'm going to be using. I'm going to get cleaned up just a little bit with a grinder, but looks like it fits pretty well. Of course the angles are all wrong, but that's just going to be me welding it in and heating it up and hammering it into place. So I'm going to start getting to work on that, and I'll bring you guys along with, I'll put you on a time lapse again. So here we go. So trailing arm is all braced up and welded. Ran beads around the entirety of the plate, so hopefully it'll be as strong as possible. I really don't want to end up doing this again before going to solid axle in the rear end. I mean, it should be strong enough, but I'll figure that out when we get back out to Brown Mountain, won't I? Alright, so I got the trailing arm all painted up. Got the hub back on and the trailing arm bushing in. So now it's basically ready to be reinstalled. I'm gonna set you guys up on a time lapse and I'm gonna get to it. Alright, so the rear trailing arm is on. Everything clears. Pretty happy with how it turned out. Axle fits pretty well. Got a little bit of space, so it's not too tight in there. Let me grab the light. Axle's got some space. I mean, of course I had to give it some room to not get hit. But I think that should be plenty strong. We'll go test it out here soon though. Brake line still fits and everything, so we're good. Now to just put it back on the ground, tighten up all the bolts that have bushings in them, and bleed the brakes. And then I have to do the other side still, cause wow. This side is super beefy. That side still looks like it's gonna snap. It doesn't have any stress fractures, but I don't trust it anymore. Might have to fix that here soon. Luckily, I have the other trailing arm sitting right over here. So, I'll get working on that one. I might work on it tomorrow. It might be a next week thing. I just want my car back, man. So, I think I might just put that off until a next week thing. So this will probably be the end of this video. But, you guys get the basic idea. Alright guys, that's gonna do it for this video. If you want to go ahead and like, comment, subscribe, I'd really appreciate it. Share if you care to. But yeah, the next video I'll post will probably be me taking this thing back off-road to test out the new trailing arms. And hopefully that goes well. You'll tell by the title of the video. But I'll catch you guys later. Take care. Have a good night.